What is up, everybody? You know, I always love to start this show off by showing love to those companies that help make this podcast possible. Guys, I'm going to start the show off with my friends over at Company Cam, man. I have loved Company Cam. Every company I've ever managed or ran, we have always used Company Cam. All of you out there, if you are managers, you're running a company, if you're a technician, you should want this for the company that you work for or run. It's going to make everyday tasks so much simpler for you. Company Cam is adding so many new features. Even somebody who uses them and is sponsored by them, it's hard to keep up with them, to be honest with you. It started out as just photo and video documentation, doing it at a high level, keeping track of it and organizing it. We are in the day and age of before and after pictures speak volumes. Customers want to know that you're being transparent, you're actually doing what you say you're doing. And this is one of the easiest ways to do that, taking before and after pictures. I don't care if it is a blower motor, cleaning the wheel, changing a capacitor, whatever it may be, showing before and after pictures. Guys, these are going to be able to tell you exactly who took the picture, where they were, what time it was. It's time-stamped. It's geotagged. It gives you all the metadata that you need. You're able to then take some of these pictures if needed and be able to put them online. It's going to have all the high-quality metadata needed to be able to put it online that nobody needs to spend extra time and work to be able to add it to it. Guys, you can communicate inside of here if need be. A lot of times it's the sales team, the comfort specialist, and the install team can communicate back and forth. If a sales guy's out there selling a job, he can be communicating with the office, communicating with the install manager, the installers, and say, hey, I think we got to redo this gas line. What do you think you're going to need to do this? And they can say, hey, give me some more pictures over here. Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff can be live right at your fingertips, having the communication. It's also going to give you AI notes. You walk around with the pictures, you talk to it for a second, it's going to build professional notes for you without doing a word, and it's going to put it all together. You can send it right to the customer, right to your office, and it's all done for you. It's going to be making your job easier, but still looking high class and professional each and every time. Guys, I tell you, plus one of the biggest things I love, and maybe some people it doesn't matter to you, but you know, taking pictures all the time on your personal phone if you don't have a work phone, and you can't go find the pictures of your child, the dinner, your wife, your husband, whatever it may be, and you're searching through all these pictures of nomenclature plates and furnaces and heat pumps and air conditioners and boilers, whatever it is that you work on. Then you got to spend the time to go delete all these photos. It sucks. It's a hassle. Stop doing it. Let all your photos be in Company Cam. Even that job from 7 years ago, that customer who's a pain in the ass, but guess what? The check's always cash, so you keep doing work for them. Well, you can go back in there. Hey, I can look at that job from 6 years ago. Let me go back and check those pictures. Oh, that's right. They have a carrier furnace. It's a 24 inches wide. All that information is going to be there for you. It's always going to be there for you guys. Company Cam truly is awesome. Guys, I don't ever offer or bring anything to you guys that I do not use myself. And if I wouldn't say something for free, I wouldn't say something about it paid. Company Cam is truly amazing. It can add on to any CRM. I don't care if you have Service Titan, House Call Pro, any of the big boys. There is going to be an API that can add Company Cam to it. I promise you that. All I ask is go check it out. If you use the discount code or go to the website, www.companycam.com/HVAC Uncensored. They're going to give you a free 14-day trial to check it out. If you're happy with it, great. If you're not, hey, 14-day trials, no harm, no foul. You're done. You don't got to worry about it. But if you like it, they're going to give you 50% off your first 2 months for being a part of HVAC Uncensored Nation. I suggest that you just go try it out. I didn't even get into this. I'll do it next time about all the AI tools that are added. So that's a whole nother thing. This is what I mean by they're adding so many useful tools. They're not adding BS. They're adding useful things that can help you on a day-to-day basis to make you more efficient, to be able to go out there and help and serve more customers. So guys, go check out my friends over at Company Cam. They're worth every single penny to make your job better. All right. With that being said, on to the next. Guys, I want to do a push for the newest sponsor of the show, my friends over at Jackson Systems. Mr. Tom Jackson has been a good friend of the program for probably about as long as I've been podcasting, to be honest with you. Absolute amazing man. I love everything he stands for, which is why I love his company. I've always used his company to buy different products. But what I want to talk to you guys about is their AirLink program. Guys, Jackson's revolutionary free AirLink program quickly links your installed IAQ products to replacement filters, pads, or bulbs for your customers, earning you revenue every year. Guys, sign up by indoor air quality products like air cleaners, humidifiers, and UV lights at Jackson Systems and Supply. Minimums are required. You can customize it. Their sales team will work with you in determining your custom design and contact information to be printed on every single product. Select which products and replacement consumables, filters, pads, UV bulbs you'll want to sell and set your margins. So you as a business owner, if you want to give a nice fair price to your customer, hey, great. You want to give it to them for what you're getting them for, great. Bad business. I don't recommend doing that. But if you get it for $10, you want to sell for $20, do that. It's your prerogative. Upon installation, show your customers how easy it is to scan the QR code and order the exact replacement consumables they need. Jackson Systems is going to stock them, process the order, ship it out to your customer on your behalf. Sit back and watch your bottom line grow. Okay, they're going to buy the product. You're going to make money off of the bulb, the humidifier pad, whatever it may be. You get a check at the end of the month for whatever it was set for. But not even just that. Normally calling you. For one, if they don't call you, you can call them. You're going to know that the order was purchased. You can call them, hey, Mrs. Smith, I saw that you just ordered a new bulb for your Remy Halo and a new humidifier pad. Would you like me to set somebody up to come out and install those for you? Oh, that's awesome. Yes, I would love to have you guys come out. It's another way to serve your customers. And I think I forgot to tell you guys this. Everything that I just mentioned on here is 100% free. It doesn't cost you anything. All you have to do is buy the products from Jackson Systems, and they will give you the service 100% for free. All right? You're able to have your company logo on it. You're going to have that QR code, so it goes right to the website for your page, which they are going to create for you, which is going to be, once again, 100% free. It costs you nothing. This is truly amazing what they're doing. And when you go to this website, there's a whole bunch of other things that you're able to get, whether the customer buys thermostats. We all know nowadays, especially in the residential business, thermostats are kind of hard to mark up. If an Ecobee or a Nest, please don't install Nest, but whatever it may be, if they cost $300, $250, whatever the cost is for that product, you can't really mark it up that much with the day and age of the internet. So now let the customer buy it themselves. Hey, rather than going to Home Depot or through Amazon, go ahead and use our link. You're going to be able to get the same cost you would get online. But that way we'll come out, you buy it through us, and we'll come out and install the product for you. It's still getting you in customers' homes. It's still giving you the opportunity. It's giving your people work. It's a win-win situation. All right. So guys, please, anybody out there, go over to jacksonsystems.com, check out the benefits of their AirLink program, and let them know that Gil over at HVAC Uncensored sent you. All right. With that being said, let's get on with the damn show. Let's go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all those men and women who defend it.
Welcome to the #1 rated HVAC podcast. If you're looking to grow in the HVAC industry, then you're in the right spot. Blue collar people talking about blue collar shit. Let's get better together. So turn up the volume, buckle your seatbelt, and let's welcome your host, Gil Cavey Jr.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. I'm your host, Gil KV Jr. Here we are, another Wednesday, another hump day, and another amazing fucking show for you. Guys, thank you all for being here, man. As I always start off, always doing the shout outs. Shout outs. Hopefully, you're not shitting out. Shout outs for everybody that showed up to watch the live show, man. We have Mr. East Coast. What is up, my man? Mr. Freon Leon. What is up, my brother? Mr. HVAC Rookie, my main man, my moderator, my cameraman, my assistant, the only real employee of the podcast who is also unpaid. You cannot beat his services. Mr. Nasty, what is up, my man? Mr. Zeke, what is up, my brother? Another moderator of the show. Let's see. We have Mr. Modern Comfort. What's up? Thank you for being here. Mr. Jason Johnson, my other brother from another mother, also a moderator of the show. What is up, my man? Happy belated birthday once again. Hope you had a great one. Let's see who I have missed so far. I got that one. Mr. Froggy, what is up, my guy? Thank you for being here, brother. Let's see. I got these. Miss Jessica Egan, what is up, my lady? Thank you so much for being here. Good to see you once again. Tell the hubby, Mr. Craig, I said hello as well. Let me see. I think I saw Mr. Sammy's in here. Good to see you, Sammy. Or good to see your name. You know what I mean. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. If I did, I'm trying to go down from the top to the bottom. I don't think I missed anyone. So if I did, just go ahead and comment. My apologies. Um, Please remember throughout the show, if there's a comment that you want me to see, try to put it in all caps, and one of the moderators will make sure that I see it. Um, it's a little bit easier when I'm doing these shows, just talking directly to you guys, but when I have a guest is when it's a little bit harder, and putting questions in all caps is a little bit more important. Um, but with that being said, man, how the hell is everybody? Hope you guys are all having an amazing week so far. Um, I can say I've been having a good week. It's been good. Works from home today, so I was working right from here. Mama had some appointments, nothing crazy. She had to get that port cleaned out, so it was all good. Um, okay, I have 60 minutes. Then I'm due elsewhere. Where am I due? I think I'm good. I actually do gotta put the girls to bed, but anyway, thank you, El Manager. I appreciate it. Um, but other than that, it's been a good day, man. Good things at work, parted ways with an install manager for better or for worse. It is what it is. He, is or was a friend of mine. I don't really know how it stands, but whatever, man. I don't hold grudges. I wish everybody the best. I think it was the best for both parties, but super excited, man. And to be honest, when he finally comes into town, I think we might do a podcast together. To be honest, man, we've been doing an interview process with a guy named Jay. He's from Colorado, and for our new install manager spot, he's moving to Maryland. Dude is awesome. Love everything about him. I cannot wait to actually meet him in person. And we're still, it's not a done deal. We're still in the beginning stages of the process, of the hiring process. But so far, all of the initial interviews he's knocked out of the park. So I'm truly excited. Um, I really hope that this works out, that he becomes the next member of the team, because we are growing rapidly. A lot of people are slowing down right now, and I'm hiring. I'm trying to. Obviously, I need a new install manager. That's a role that we have to do because we have several teams right now, and I'm looking for service technicians too. So anybody out there, if you are worth a damn in the DC, Maryland, DC, Baltimore metro area, hit me up. We are hiring, taking resumes. So, but please be please be one of the good ones, man, because I've had a lot of people when I've said that announcement on the podcast, they've messaged me, which I appreciate. But I am looking for people with some experience. I'm not looking for any projects currently. There will be a time where I will be taking some young guys. I have a long list of young guys that want to come on and be trained. That's not currently what I'm looking for. So just to throw that out there. But if you can email me at the podcast, either info@hvacuncensored.com or hvacuncensored@gmail.com. And I can forward you the email that you need to send your resume to. But anyway, I know your price, Jay. I'll pay it. All jokes aside, you come, I'll pay it. I would make it work for you, my guy. Anybody running into anything cool this week? Anything neat happen? Funny? Big job? Shitty job? Anything like that? And guys, I also do. I mean, I don't think I charged the phone this week because we never use it. But during these shows where it's just me, I do want to start opening the phone lines, man. So you guys can call in. I'm not saying you got to like be a guest and be on here forever, but you can just call, chit chat for a minute, hang up. Somebody else can. We can do it a few times. So if that's something you guys are open to, I can open the phone lines again. I had the neglected text line. Didn't really get much traffic. I think I just got to keep pushing it. It'll eventually come around. What's up, Neil? No, we did not get snow in Maryland. We got a bunch of rain, but that's about it. No snow. I hope it fucking snows. Yeah, I wish it would snow. Ah, man. Anyway, man, if you guys saw the show tonight, well, first and foremost, before we get going, sound, audio, picture, everything like that going good. Did you really, Zeke? You guys got some snow over there? I mean, I don't think we got snow. I mean, granted, I wasn't out and about that much today. I took my mom to the doctors. I mean, I went from like the Annapolis area to like Woodlawn, and I didn't see any snow. Hmm, crazy. Yeah, no, I hope it snows. Mr. Jared, what's up, my brother? Thank you for being here. Says just dealing with salesmen making promises the equipment can't keep. Man, same old song and dance. That happens a lot, and that sucks. Another big one is, oh, they can get all that done in one day. No, they can't. Well, stop touching 240, Jess. What are you doing? Use your fancy meter. You don't got to boop. Yeah, nah, 240 will definitely wake you up. I used to work with the guy back in the day when I first got into the trade. He had these fat little soft sausage fingers, kind of like rookies. And he would just touch the fucking contactor. And he'd be like, oh, it's power still on. And I'm like, dude, what? Why? Like, why do you do that? Jared, that's cool though, man. So anybody audio, so Jared's comment, he said, just dealing with salesmen making promises the equipment can't keep. His next response was, then I have to be the bad guy and say no. It's not being the bad guy, man. You got to be the voice of reason. And it's better off to do that than have a pissed off customer with something they know that is not going to work properly. I've done it several times. I've had guys go out and sell like carrier infinity systems or high end inverter systems to these people with horrible ductwork. And I'm like, hey, uh, I'm sorry. I just want to let you know that without doing these duct modifications, we're not going to take this job. And the customer's like, oh man, well, I'm sorry to hear that because other companies said they'll do it. I'm like, hey, that's fine. I know that you're going to have issues and I don't want to see you spend that kind of money knowing that it's not going to do what you want it to do. And quite a few times they've called back afterwards and been like, man, you were right. Yeah, no. And now you can call the other company to do the duct modifications. I don't want it. Lick it. And that's funny. So, guys, I would love to have all of your opinion in here, especially because we have all different walks of life. We have men, we have women, we have people in the sales, the management, the ownership, commercial, industrial, all walks of life. So, I'm very curious your take on this, and it's going to be company culture, but I want to go in a couple of different avenues. So, first and foremost, I want to say I do think that company culture, especially nowadays, is extremely important. It's extremely important to the longevity and the growth of a company. No two company cultures can be the same because the culture is made up of the people. So obviously, you can't have two of them that are the same. But I want to say this though: how many of you guys that have been in the trade for quite a few years remember even hearing the phrase company culture 15, 20 years ago? I don't. Did any of you ever hear the phrase company culture when you first got into the trade? I'm curious, everybody in the chat. Because if I had to guess, I'm going to think that most of you are going to say no. Back then, it was you did what the fuck you were told, you'd work the hours that you had to work, and if you didn't like it, they would find somebody else who would do it. That was kind of the mentality. Not about HVAC. Um, yeah, exactly. So I want to say it was, but don't be a wuss. um, all right, Jared says I did, but that was like 10 years ago. I heard because I said so. And not saying there wasn't like great places to work back then. That's not what I mean. But and maybe it's also social media could also have a lot to play with it too. 10, 15 years ago, social media wasn't what it was today, which has changed a lot of aspects in all of our lives. But um dude, get out of here. I can count how many companies I've worked for on one hand, dick face. Um but I don't change my That's funny. Um the reason I say that is because I also think that there was some of us are a little bit older. I think it's a different mindset. We grew up in a different era than the people that are coming up in the trade now, which is also why I think company culture has to be a little different. And I don't think it's a bad thing. Let me step back and say that. Me personally, I think people thinking about and worrying about company culture is a positive thing. Um, because some of these companies who are treating their people like shit are going to stand out a little bit more now. But the other side of it, I also think that it's came about and became more relevant because people and the mentality are soft. Just my opinion. Remember, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Mine just happens to be semi important because it's my fucking show. So sorry. Um, Yeah, I mean, like I said, I do believe in great culture. I've managed places with great culture and they're fun to be around. You enjoy going to work every day. So I believe in it. I'm not saying that I don't believe in it because I 100% do. But it's just thinking about the word and how many times you hear people say it now, including myself. Um, versus when I got into the trade, it wasn't like that. It was very more of like an old school hard knocks kind of thing. Um, and I do think part of that made me better though, if I had to I don't in a weird way. I think it made me better because there was no room or time for bullshit back then. You know that you had to do what you had to do. You know, you had to earn your keep. You know, the older guys you come up with, like, yes, they'd help you, they'd bust your balls, but like you were kind of like that little brother. They wouldn't let anybody else fuck with you kind of deal. Um, then we went through that phase where like nobody was willing to help anybody because they thought that person was going to take their job, which was just absolutely asinine because we have been in a shortage of technicians for like 15 years. So I mean that whole thing didn't make any sense. It was a bunch of dudes with their egos getting hurt, to be honest. Um that's not true. Rookie, which he's wrong, which he normally is. Um, Company culture is a ruse, so companies don't have to pay more. Um, that's yeah. I I don't know if you're serious, but even if you are, whatever. Your opinion's your opinion, but I don't agree with that at all. Um, because both of the places, any place that I've managed or ran, we've always had some of the highest paid technicians in our area. I have always believed in trying to build like an all-star team to pay people what they're worth, but also enjoy coming to work every day. Sometimes building a good company culture from like a management or owner standpoint is it's not even just for your people, it's for yourself. I mean, nobody wants to go run a company or own a company that you fucking hate going to every day. And you would think, "Oh, they're the owner. That can't happen." Bullshit. Bullshit. It happens all the time. There's all kind of owners that, yeah, they're the owner of the company, but they don't enjoy going to work every day. So I do believe that company culture kind of helps it from the top down, bottom up kind of deal. Um, you know, when people do enjoy going to work. Um, because I have one of my old bosses that I respect him. I truly do. He's a very, very smart man. He's been in business, well, now for like 35 years. And you don't last in business for 35 years by accident. I'm sorry, you just don't. Um, but the company culture wasn't always great. It was definitely just you're there to work. Until he brought me up into like management, my first like really management role, is when I really started getting to know him more as a person. But before that, like you didn't talk about personal things at work. At least not to him, you didn't. It was very like, why are we talking? Go to work kind of deal. And I don't think that's fun either. All of my employees, I want to know their why. I want to know their wife's names, their girlfriend's names, their husband's name, their children's name, all those kind of things. I truly love seeing the people that work for me succeed in life, man. Which is why we have our goal boards on the wall. They're in the service or in the training room. I'm sorry. Um, and I've done that forever. Where I love to see them erase things off that board, you know? Whether it's, save 10,000 bucks, buy a house, buy a car, get married, whatever it is, man, like I love seeing them achieve those goals. You're not wrong. Work is work, and I don't think it's just a resi thing, but also with the job like you do, I mean, you're not really around people, Rook. So you know what I mean, which can be a good or a bad thing, but I do think that it is important. I'm sorry, going back through some of them. Breon says company culture replaced accountability in the workplace. Yeah, but so you're not wrong, but I would say if company culture replaced the accountability in the workplace, then it probably doesn't have very good company culture though. So let me ask you, and I'll read some of them out if you guys would be willing to comment. If you had your own, so if you do have your own company. What is your vision of a good company culture, regardless of what the company is, whether it's residential, commercial, whatever? Like, what would be a few of the things that you think would make great company culture? I'm curious to what you guys put. Read some of these comments. Mr. Jason Johnson, accountability is lacking. So is ownership and work and pride, quality and desire to advance with effort. I don't disagree with that at all. Mr. Rookie, the problem is kids need a dream board, goals. Men know what they have to do each day. I don't necessarily agree with that either. Um, you know, setting goals is a good thing. I mean, I'm not saying necessarily gotta make a dream board, but setting goals and holding yourself accountable is good because people every day, say that they want to do things and it's like, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll get to it tomorrow. And, I'm not saying that, I mean, obviously, we all know I procrastinate on things as well, but, that right there is accountability because you're accountable to what you put on that board and knowing that it's going to be brought up in front of the team. So let's see, Mr. Froggy. Text, Mr. Modern Comfort says, yeah, having more techs working in the trade years ago made your job more replaceable. Now having a shortage of techs makes us more valuable, also more sought after. It's very true, very true. Uh, Mr. Froggy says communication, one common goal. I agree. Modern Comfort says great pay, great benefits, great hours. Mr. Jason Johnson, accountability, pride in work, desire to learn and grow. Work your way up from the bottom. Miss Jessica Egan, I would want to have my people see themselves as a team and not just individuals. I like it. I like it. Mr. Modern Comfort says again, clean work, having good clientele. Mr. Jared says honesty. See the new guys coming in and expect to launch up the ladder with minimal effort. I definitely see that. Uh, new age crap. Don't be mad, rookie. It's okay. You're an old man. Mr. Jared says I can work with almost anybody at any level. I can't work with dishonesty. I agree. The two things that are no-nos for me are going to be liars and thieves. Um, Normally when I meet with somebody and I ask them a question, especially if I meet them, if I say, "Hey, come into my office," and I ask them a question, normally I already know the answer to the question. If they're honest with me, I can work with them, we're good. But if they lie to my face, then we're done. And then people who steal, don't lie and don't be a thief. Um, I will give the shirt off my back. You don't need to take it from me. If you need something, I'll help you get it in any way possible. Those are my kind of two no nos. Um, I do agree with the quality of work. I see a lot of people put that, and I do agree with that. That it's just get the job done, and I hate that phrase. Like I used to hear people say, "I just work here." Like I swear that makes me want to backhand somebody. It's like, well, what the fuck do you think the rest of us do? Um, and then when people say like, "Oh, I just had to get it done," like, what does that mean? You had to just get it done. All that statement is just making an excuse for you doing a not good enough job. That's what that statement is. Oh, I'm gonna read these two comments. Well, I'm gonna go down because Miss Jessica Egan says integrity is so important, and amen to that. And I always say this: integrity is what you do when no one is watching. Okay, it's easy to be in full of integrity when people are watching you and the lights are on you. It's easy to do the right things and say the right things. Your true integrity, or whether you have integrity, comes out when you're in that basement, you're in that attic, and there's nobody there to watch you. The only person that's holding you accountable is you and God. That's when true integrity comes out. Because I hear a lot of people talk like they say the right things when they're in a group of people. And then you see their work after they were by themselves, and you're like, "Uh, what happened?" Like, you know what I mean? So that's what true integrity is. But I agree with that 100%. um, something like that. Yeah, no, I'm furthest from the best tech ever, man. I still love learning this shit every day. But I think Froggy and Freon had some good comments. So Froggy said, there is a thing that new younger techs and generally this generation prefers to work in teams and no one wants to step up to lead. You're not wrong with that. You're not wrong with that one. Mr. Leon says, companies should start building within, treat it like the consistent sports franchise. They draft young talent and build up from within. And if they don't make it, you retry. Amen. I agree to that 100%. By doing that, you can build people that the only way they know is your way. They don't have a bunch of bad habits you have to try to break. Um, you have longevity if you start with younger techs. If you treat them well, if you have good company culture, they enjoy working, you provide opportunity. And I always say this in management, it's always the three C's. You have to challenge your people, you have to care for them and provide clarity. And I feel like if you do all three of those things, that people will stay because people don't always leave for money. Sometimes they leave for opportunity. And I've had it happen. He's actually still a very good friend of mine, Levitt, if he listens to this. Levitt worked for me at Beltway and was an amazing tech. We only got him because uh, the place that he was working at was trying to force people to get the COVID shot. And he was like, yeah, no, fuck that. I'm not doing that. Um, but then he got another, position to go into management and run this Coast Guard yard. And we didn't have a management position open to give him. And it sucked because as his boss, I didn't want to see him go, but as his friend, I would have been stupid to tell him not to take it. And he's doing amazing. Life is good. We still talk, all the time. And I've since that moment, I have tried to think of different ways, which is what I told you last week, um, Leon, when I was talking about that field supervisor spot of trying to think about different ways to be able to provide people a come up, maybe a little bit more pay if they want it. It's there for them so you don't have to lose good people because that sucks. And that's probably a bad situation or a bad analogy only because if COVID never happened, he would have stayed where he was most likely. But no, and I think education is something like a person needs to want to educate themselves and want to be better. But I also think it's something that should be pushed by the company. Um, I don't care what level a person is. You should always want to drive them to be better. Like I have a tech that works for me, Josh, who is fucking amazing. The guy can fix anything. He's amazing as a technician. He takes a huge workload off of me. But when I do one-on-one meetings, I still find things to drive him to make him better because all of us have things that we need to improve on. So I listen to them kind of judge and rate themselves, and then I try to give my feedback on what I think that they could do better. And everybody has things, and then I let them like judge me. You know what I mean? How can I do better for you? And normally the first couple of times they're always, they don't really want to say much until eventually we start to get comfortable and then they'll say how they feel. And to be honest, sometimes it sucks because maybe I think I'm doing really good at that, but the truth is I'm not. But that's what you have to hear. That's how you grow. That's how you get better. Wait, well, Jessica, if you're strength and support, then that's what you do. You do what you enjoy doing, you have fun, you can succeed at, and then it's not really like work. There's a problem that a lot of people, and especially when it comes to hiring and management, you hire people to do tasks that you enjoy doing. And then you leave the task that you don't like, but you think you're supposed to be doing. Doesn't really make sense. Hire people to do the stuff that you don't like doing, but they love doing. So they're good at it, they love it, they take care of it, but then you keep doing the things that you're good at that you love doing. I talk to some different people and like they're like, "Oh, it'll be like a smaller shop and they're like, "Oh, I hired this comfort specialist like to do the sales." And I'm like, "Oh, well, I thought you loved doing sales." And he's like, "Yeah, but I'm normally so tied up doing the accounting stuff, but I hate it." I'm like, "Well, why didn't you hire a fucking accountant and then keep doing the sales? Like that doesn't make any sense." Feel like you hired the wrong person. And one thing that I've learned that I say that definitely helped me grow is we do service meetings twice a week, every week. Um, I don't care if it's 150 degrees out, if it's 50 below zero, regardless of the weather, because I've worked for places that they did it in the off season. But then when it got busy, they wouldn't do the meetings. When in reality, that's when you need those things the most. When people use the analogy when like your favorite sports teams make it to the championship, like the Super Bowl for football or World Series for baseball, those teams don't stop practicing. You know what I mean? Like, so there, it should be the same way in what we do. Okay, good. The stream is healthy. That's always good. Like to have a healthy stream. So this is working good, just doing eCam. Enable that. Close caption. Nice. Go beans. Go beans. See, Mr. Jared says, I was so embarrassed in one training class, the coworker that was sent with me to the class just fell asleep the whole time and was snoring. I had to keep waking him up during the 2-day class. See, I find that frustrating. Like, if you don't want to go to the class, then just say you don't want to go. Um, I got to the point, man, where, when I went to those classes, I wasn't there to fucking make friends, man. I was there to learn. So I would sit up front if possible. I didn't treat it like high school. I was just sit in the back and, crack jokes and you know what I mean? I would sit in the front. I wanted to learn. I wanted those people to know my name afterwards. No, he's in like Indiana or something. Mikey Pipes isn't in Indiana. At least I don't think so. Oh, never mind. Okay, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought he was New York, but I get what you're saying now. I went over my head at first. Um, have any of you guys ever heard of or used the company Tosot? I know they have a distribution center in PA. I think they're based out of New York, actually, is where their main thing is. Yeah, I don't blame him. He should fire one of them. If you're being one of those cool bosses, you pay to send somebody to class and they sleep the whole time. That's kind of like a smack in the face. That's why people have to be with me for a little bit before I send them to training. Hey, don't say East Coast crap again. In that shithole California you live in. Yeah, the reason I brought up Tosat is I've seen him around here, and we actually put one in just because of the. It was the only thing that we could find in the new refrigerant to fit this application. Um, it actually wasn't bad. I mean, I don't think we're not gonna make it um a habit of like this being the new brand that we sell. We're gonna stick to the normal brands that we deal with. But um yeah, I was just curious if anybody else has heard of them or installed them. I know there's a lot more of these new like, Korean, Japanese, Chinese brands coming out. Have a good night, Jess. It was good to see you again, girl. Be safe. That's crazy to sue for unemployment. And the sad part is the way the world is now, they probably would get it. No, I don't think Tosat is Medea modern. Um, I think this company actually manufactured. I don't know. Let me see. I can find out real fast. I don't think it's made by Medea. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it is, but I don't think so. Let's see here. About us. About us. Let's see. Um, no, it's made by Gree. Tosad is HVAC brand owned and manufactured by Gree Electric Appliances Company of I don't even know. Zunahai. Line includes residential, commercial air conditioners, including ductless split, PTAX, central heat pump, and VRF units. They got to be big over there. I mean, if they're backed by Gree, Gree's kind of a big boy. I'm trying to see if I see Medea anywhere. Yeah, so they're big. I think they're just coming in North America, but it looks like they're big in Asia, Europe, Middle East, Africa, whatever the hell that is down there, Latin America. Uh, Distributing in the States, we teamed up with Tosad American Households. Yeah, so it's a Gree product. Yeah, Gree's another one of them, like Medea, that makes a lot of these products for these other companies. A lot of these big boys, the big manufacturers, they don't um they don't make their own shit. Like they'll make their normal like standard systems, but I know Carrier for a while there, all of their line of mini splits, I'm pretty Gree was making those for them. Yeah, no, you're right, Jared. So if it comes out of China, your guess, if you guess Gree or Medea, you'd be right 90% of the time. Derek Kenny, what is up, my man? How the hell are you? So if a lot of you guys don't remember Derek, he used to watch me like back in the day, man. Good to see you, brother. I think Derek used to be in there when I was podcasting with the other guy that I used to podcast with. Hope all is well, my man. Definitely need that hooker upgrade because even doing the strangers nowadays isn't working. Yeah, no, exactly, Jared. Yeah, it's back when I used to do that podcast a long time ago. Yeah, no, I really like you know, Daikin's ductless stuff, but I know they were slow to release a bunch of the R32 stuff, and that was a problem. One that I used to be okay with that I'm not a fan of now is Fujitsu. I don't like the new Fujitsu stuff. It's all good. I was talking to her earlier. I never sent you what, Rook? What are you talking about? That's awesome, brother. Good for you, man. Doing commercial and refrigeration now. Remind me, where are you located, Derek? Oh, I agree, Jared. R32 is what all of them should have went with. I don't know why R54B is even a fucking thing. Derek the chick is. Yeah, I really wish like when we went from I've said this before, we went from 22 to 410. I wish we would have went from 410 to 32. I wish 454 was not even a thing. R32 is a pure refrigerant. Like it's better. We had plenty of it. Yeah, I wish that we would have never went with 454B. I don't like the refrigerant. Um, I haven't had it is so most of the 32 stuff we've put in has been inverters. So maybe that's why, but we've had a lot of complaints with 454B equipment carrier, you know, to be honest. And I think it's more the refrigerant than it is the brand, to be honest. So I'm not trying to like punch Carrie in the nuts or anything, but people bitching about the outdoor units being loud. But when we check them, there's nothing wrong with them. It's below the decibel ratings for the system. The charge is good. Everything's tight. We've even tried, carriers giving us these. You take the little grommets out of the compressor and you put these like new ones in. They're supposed to be like vibration eliminators. They even have like the sound blankets on them, and people are still bitching. And they're saying that it's just some of the complaints that have happened with the 454B. And I guess I get what the customers are saying because they'll buy this new, R54B system. And the one customer who's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest, but I understand a little bit because they have two old, like, Raymer Rude, uh, those square units sitting outside. And like those old 22 systems are quieter than the new system. So I guess I get the point. Well, I bet they do. you know? So, for all the people listening to audio, Mr. Freon Leon says they want to phase out 32 by 2040, which I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you figure that's probably the same timeline, a little less than how 410 lasted. Well, yeah, I know, Jay. That's my point. That I wish that 32 has a proven track record. It's not new, so I don't know why we had to go do this, creating another refrigerant when everybody could have just used R32 and we'd have been fine. And a bunch of us wouldn't have had to go through the beginning of the summer, you know, getting raped on fucking R54 B refrigerant and then not being able to get it. It was fucking stupid and it never should have happened. I mean, obviously I'm glad it's over and done with now, but that's a grudge that I hold with Carrier because we were spending like anywhere from like $1,200 to $1,500 a jug at the height of that bullshit, but we didn't have a choice because we had systems been getting put in. We had to add charge to some of these, and we had to have jugs of the refrigerant for my installers to carry. But then I heard from a lot of other manufacturers who also use, the R54B. They were doing the same process as far as like you were only able to buy it from like who you were like a true dealer from. But they weren't raping people like that though. They were spending like, six, seven, $800 a jug. So the fact that they got up to 12, 1500 is just, it really pissed me off. And when it comes time to renegotiate contracts, that's going to fucking come up. Yeah, I heard that same thing. Mr. Jason Johnson says it's because Daikin owns the patent and others did not want to go with them to use the patent uh, that they don't charge to use. Which I don't understand because when they went with 410, the actual Puron name didn't Carrier or Wasco own the patent to that, or at least at the time. I could be wrong about that, but I thought that was the case. Maybe it's just the Puron name and not actual 410 refrigerant, but I thought that Carrier or whoever owns Carrier, I think it's Wasco, or a matter of fact, I think it might be another name, had the 410A patent. Does anybody know that? I could be 100% wrong. Yeah, Carrier trademark Puron. Yeah, that's what I thought. But not the actual 410 refrigerant, though. Oh, I didn't know about the Freon thing. What do you mean they're all Freon? Put a little Freon in it. They're all Freon. If it's a tank and it goes in an AC, it's Freon. Just needs a little Freon, baby.
Just put some fucking refrigerant in it, man. It's a little low, man. I just need some Freon, buddy.
So that makes sense, Jason. Thank you. Ah, Honeywell owns 410A. That makes sense. Oh, Zeke said DuPont patented the Freon. Half of 410. Yeah, no, yeah, no, you're definitely right. That's why, once again, proves my point on why I don't know why they just didn't all use R32. So for the audio listeners, Mr. Jared said half of 410A is R32 and 63% of 454B is R32. Um, R32 being a pure refrigerant means that you can charge it as a vapor, flip it upside down, charge as a liquid. But 410A and R54B, because you cannot do that, you have to charge as a liquid because if you flip that motherfucker up, you're changing the chemical makeup of it. You don't know what you're putting in there. So Mr. J said DuPont patented R22, the refrigerant, not the name Freon. Patented to frog juice. I believe you can only patent blends, not single compound refrigerant. Nah, I don't see why not. I mean, as long as it's not like, you know, like one of the common what is it, the table of elements or whatever it is. Like propane. Well, I guess somebody probably owns a patent on that. Yeah, no, very true. Very true. There's a patent on R32. Daikin holds it. I love it when you guys get your little tips in the chat. Even though I know you guys are just joking, but it's funny. Better come correct, motherfucker. You're going to get double checked. Lord knows I always fuck up. Let me do this wide angle. This close one on my face. I feel like Mr. Rogers. Today we're talking about refrigerants and who owns the patent on it. Thank you for watching, Gil Cavey. HVAC Uncensored. Now go fuck yourself. Be back. Just kidding. Yeah, that's one thing I don't understand about. I think the United States, like, we are like industry leaders in so many areas, in the world. Um, but I think when it comes to the trades and stuff like that, like, we're fucking horrible. I feel like we play catch up with the rest of the world. I mean, I've said that before that I mean, I don't know all of the ways, just things that I've heard, but I really like the way that Canada does some things versus how we do it. And I know anybody who's listened to me has heard me say this a million times, but until I started doing this podcast and I found out that only, I think it's 18 out of, 50 states actually have licensing, it's crazy. I think that that should be mandatory in every state. Like, that should be a federal thing. Having licensing and stuff like that, I think that might help, raise the standard, but then they gotta actually stick by it. Because even in Maryland, like, we have it, and yeah, if you pull permits, you gotta have a master's and stuff like that. But, anybody who's out on their own is supposed to be a journeyman, and that's just not true. There's nobody checking it. Every once in a while, you get those customers, they're like, I want to see everybody's license who's gonna be working on my job. It's like, dude, go eat a ding dong. No, that's true, Jared. No, Neil, that wasn't good night. That was me fucking around. I do got to end the show here soon, though. Um, yeah. So Mr. Jared says, "What's dumb is you still need R32 to make 454B, so you get double charge for the patent. It is pretty dumb." Yeah, I don't understand the corporate gurus that made that decision. And then to have, had 2 years notice that all these changes were happening, and then the first summer we get into to not have enough refrigerant and say it was because of the tanks was kind of ridiculous. Very true, Zeke. Yeah, the pass rate on the journeyman's test is very low. Uh, so I think that we should have that, but I think the test should also be technical and not code based. Um, the test that they have in Maryland, Zeke knows this, that it's all codes. Like, you can pass the journeyman's test or the master's test, and it doesn't mean you're a good technician. There's not one technical question on there. It's all dumbass codes. And not saying you shouldn't know those codes, but I think that should be a different test though. Maybe you have to know the codes in order to get your master's license. in order to own a company, or I just think they should break it up to be different, but I think there should be some technical questions. No, Jay, he means that only 34% of the people that take the test pass it. Sam, I don't know any. I mean, I've never came up to any equipment that actually takes just the R1234YF. Yeah, no, I agree. How did she do, Zeke? Did she pass? Yeah, yeah. No, that would be just as bad, but no, only 34% of the people that take it pass it. It is a very hard test. It took me 3 times to pass my journeyman's test and 2 times to pass the master's test. Nice, awesome. Tell her I said congrats, Zeke. That's awesome. Good for her. Gotcha, Sam. Jason. Oh, thank you, rookie. Yes. Master douchebag was a hard test, man. I thought I was, major general douchebag and I was able to pass it easily, but it was hard. There was a lot of douchier questions that were over my head. Yeah, I know Virginia, because I have my master's in Maryland, DC, Virginia. So all the tests are the same shit. It's all codes. Although I shelved my license, I got to do some shit to make sure I can keep them. Because all the companies that I've been in, we've always used another license because I've always partnered up with a company that's already been there. So, or at least I know it's my Maryland when I do. But we are getting to what are you saying, rookie? You'll pass with a 25%. Even the kids won't take. Shut up. Yeah, make sure you stay up on the renew, Leon. I got a paper because mine was shelved because I didn't want to pay. Do they make you pay insurance on yours if you keep the masters active, or do you have one of the? Is it limited? Meaning you just you can't do work. Because that's what my dad did, and I was gonna change mine to limited, and they were like, "No, just shelve it." Um, and that's what I did. But apparently, I must have got mailed something, and I didn't know. So now Maryland's saying I might have to take the fucking test again. Ah, you don't have to pay insurance, man. What the fuck? Yeah, I knew with the Maryland one. Yeah, I gotta look back into that, man. Because I've not that I need my licenses right now, but I don't want to see them go, man. I've worked too hard to get that shit. Now it's just out of principle, to be honest. No, I definitely will, Zeke. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I definitely don't want to lose that, man. And it's gonna suck if they make me take the test again. If they do, I'll take it because I want that. I mean, I've worked too hard to not have it. Whether I use it or not, I still want it. I got some participation trophies. Hey, you rock the fuck out of the participation trophy, Froggy. Yeah, thanks, Rook. State board. Oh, nice. Nice. Neighbor's dog is barking. Nice. Townhouse life fucking blows. But anyway, man, thank all of you for being here, man. I really enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for just staying in the chat, be involved in the show. I do have some guests coming up here soon that I'm getting worked out. So I think they're going to be some good guests you guys are going to like. Some of them are going to be some friends of ours that you guys know. So they'll be good shows. But yeah, got a bunch of that coming up. You know, yeah. I appreciate you guys. I look forward to seeing all you guys coming in here, man. I really thank the fact that I missed, quite a few weeks, and then all of you just came back in like full flow, like I never missed. So heart goes out to you guys, man. I really, really do appreciate you, man. Thank you. But with that being said, please make sure that you stay subscribed and download the podcast. Stay up to that way you can stay up to date on everything that's going on with the show. I haven't released the social media stuff in a little bit, but I will be making some videos and some posts here, just even if it's little dumb stuff. It's just been crazy busy here lately. But please make sure, even you guys who watch this podcast live, if you wouldn't mind downloading the audio podcast wherever you get your podcasts. So the podcast is everywhere, whether it's Apple, Spotify, whatever it is, you can find the podcast there. I think there's only one that it doesn't go on, but not a lot of people download it, so I don't worry about it. So please make sure you go and download that. If you wouldn't mind leaving me a 5-star review wherever it is you get your podcast, just to help get this out to more people, to keep this thing growing, that would be truly amazing. Thank you so much for that. But with that being said, man, I'm going to start to close this out. Guys, remember to keep your head in a swivel. I don't care what it is, whether you're driving home, whatever it may be. I want each and every one of you to make it home the same way that you left. All right? Put that ladder up, double check, make sure it's safe. All right? Make sure that breaker's turned off, or you stick your hand inside that electrical box. Just please, please be safe. It's a dangerous thing that we do, and I know we get accustomed to doing it. You get used to it. Sometimes you get bad habits because it's like, I've been doing this for 20 years, 15 years, whatever it may be. But please, please still be safe. Once again, I want each and every one of you to make it home the same way you left. We all got somebody that loves us, and all have somebody who cares whether we live or die. All right? With that being said, man, do the little things. Set yourself apart from the next guy or girl. Keep trying to be the best version of yourself, man. Keep learning. Keep being better. Give back to the community. Help somebody who's less than you. Leave your fingerprint. Leave your, whatever it is, your legacy on the trade. Because sadly, sometimes it's going to be good or bad, whether you like it or not. You're going to be the guy that wouldn't help anyone, or you're going to be the guy that always gave back. That guy would always answer the phone when I called. He would always answer questions. He would always help me the best that he could. Be that person, guy or girl. Make sure I say that. All right. So, and just be a good person, man. Give a shit about other people. All right. We live in a crazy world. Don't be in your feelings. Don't be offended to be offended. But if you see somebody's having a hard time, man, just be there, be a friend, make sure everything's okay. I always say this, man, you put out good positive vibes, you get good positive vibes. It's karma. And last and foremost, if you're like me, man, all the praise and glory goes to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And because of him, I'm the man that I am, and I'm forever grateful. So with that being said, I love each and every one of you. I thank you so much for all your support. Please stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll talk with y'all next week. All right? See you.
Don't be afraid to contact us with any questions.
That is not the right one. There we go.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored Podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.
You don't worry about my fucking cheeks, all right there, buddy? Pecker tracks. I don't even know what you guys are talking about, but have a good night, everybody. Appreciate you, man. Stay safe. Talk to y'all next week, all right? See ya.